Night for the northern half of the country. In fact, we've got a weather warning in force for Northern Ireland, Scotland and the far north of England with severe gales. There'll be gusts to 80 or 90 miles an hour, some hazardous conditions, and of course there'll be damage to trees and to property as well. Even in the south there'll be gusts to 50 or 60 miles an hour for a time before the winds ease down in the second half of tonight. That's the reason for it. This is the culprit, and a squeeze of very stormy winds across the whole country for much of this evening and into the first half of the night especially, probably around midnight at its worst. A really stormy wind blowing through the Forth and Clyde valleys, and that's where it could be particularly nasty. There's plenty of rain around as well. The rain band moving southwards all the time, but at the same time it's fragmenting, and these are all showers over Scotland and Northern Ireland just at the moment. This band of rain then pulling south through England and Wales and then confined to the south coast, I would think, by the end of tonight, but gale force winds sweeping along behind. The showers turning increasingly wintry in the north, so as it turns colder, there'll be plenty of snow up on the mountains, blizzard conditions for a time, say above about 400 or 500 metres, but the showers turning wintry on the lower ground as well up in Shetland before the night's out. With the winds being strong, temperatures holding up reasonably well, I suppose, but it's bound to feel cold as those blizzards continue up in the north. Temperatures about 1 to 3 degrees, generally speaking, over much of northern Britain. Then the gales continuing tomorrow with just a slow moderation as we go through the afternoon. And you can see here this little wriggle across the south, a minor perturbation as we call it, which means to say 2 or 3 hours of rain before dry weather follows on from behind in the south later in the day. So tomorrow then, a pretty cold day, certainly much colder than it's been today. We've seen temperatures today about 10 to 12 degrees in many parts of the country. Tomorrow 3 to 5 degrees across the north with frequent wintry showers coming through, some snow on lower levels for a time up in the far north of Scotland, but it's up in the Highlands where things are going to be particularly nasty. But there's gale force winds just easing down a touch as the day goes along. Down in the south end, this band of rain pushing in through the Midlands, across into East Anglia and then away into Holland in the second half of the afternoon. I think the heavier, more persistent rain always likely to be in these more southern counties, but as the brighter weather follows down during the afternoon, it probably will turn that little bit colder, starting off at 10 degrees and levelling out at about 7 degrees in the south later on. So everywhere tomorrow windy, but less windy later on and colder than today.